Well, we're going to have Master Coach, Financial Coach, Shereen Reeves. She's coming all the way from Georgia. As you can see, her table is set up in the back. And she's going to do a workshop with us so we can just get ready. We all need some wisdom, a strategy in how to get out of debt, how to be debt free, and how to be a good steward over what the Lord has given us. Amen. Blessed us with it. So I'm excited about it. I mean, I met her. We in a mentoring group together, and I showed up. I'm sitting there by myself in the back, and she's ushering. She come on over there, and she's like, Apostle. I was like, yeah. Because I'm like, how she know me? You know, she said, I want to show you something. I'm going to give you something, or I need to tell you something, or I don't know what she said, but I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to ask me to do something. What am I going? I'm just sitting just like trying to figure this thing out, like, oh Lord, let me get my prayer right. What am I supposed to say? And I thought she was on assignment from Prophet Sophia Ruffin, but no, she just said, the Lord told me to go over here and help you, or to make sure you have everything, or to serve. I think that's what she said. Whatever it is that you need, I'm here. The Lord told me. I was like, Lord, this is God, because I'm out here by myself, and I just sit back and just try to take it all in, not really getting in because I hadn't been able to go to the meetings, but I thank God that God sent her. And ever since then, we have been on, we stay in contact. She is also a contributing author of many books, and she's a part of the book project. So at this time, I'm going to have her to come on up here, and she can tell you the rest about her, but she is an anointed woman of God, and I just praise God for her obedience. So she's going to really, can you bring it down? Is it not, you asked him? Like I said, did you? Here, take that one. Here, put this over here. Yeah, that'll work. All right, you got that. All right, so if y'all don't mind, greetings everybody. If y'all don't mind, we're going to change the atmosphere. So if you're over there vending, back there vending, over here, I'm going to need y'all to come in the center here. Yeah. Oh, I got to come over here? Yeah. Because I got some things to do. We're just going to set a little atmosphere. I got some giveaways and all that. And so I don't have to walk over there, all the way over there. We're here in the middle. That would be come on over. Everybody showered today so we can all be together, if that's all right. And so I give you greetings all the way from Augusta, Georgia. And I'm just so thankful and so honored to be here. First of all, I give honor to God, who's the bishop and lover of my soul on today. I cannot do anything without him. That includes this workshop on today. I acknowledge the pastors of this church, Pastor Wagner and his wife, Lady Wagner. I honor you today for opening up your church on today to us to do this conference. I give honor to Minister Stacy Murray Metcalf as the conference host of this conference. I honor you today, woman of God. To the visionary and founder, Apostle Tina Beatty, I thank you for hosting this conference on today. To my husband, who counted not robbery to drive straight 8 hours from Georgia. I tried to get the man of God to stop, and he said no, just a little while longer. And next thing you know, we are here. And so I thank you. To my book sisters, I salute each and every one of you. I thank you for understanding and completing this assignment. Amen. So we say thank you. So you can count on a few things with this workshop. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be raw. And I'm going to be transparent. And I'm going to not hold anything back. So I grew up in this town called Michigan City, Indiana. And I can remember my mom, she worked at a factory. She got paid on Friday, was broke by Sunday. I wanted to go to church. I had always had a desire to go to church, but I had to go to church. The reason why I had to go to church was it was my job to go beg the pastor every Sunday for money for our family so that we can make it through the week. I'm 12, y'all, 12 years old. I did this from 12 to 16. I shouldn't have been in our financial business, but I was. You see, I grew up in a single-parent household. My dad, he never paid child support because he paid 3 people to say that they slept with my mom, and this was before DNA. And so he never paid $1, so we struggled. And I didn't understand, but we did. And so I can remember one day getting up. It was in the middle of the night. And I can hear somebody knocking on the window. And I'm like, why are they knocking on the window? We got a door. But my mom's room was in the back of the house, so they knocked on the window because if they knocked on the door in the middle of the night, she might not hear, right? They knocking on the window. So then I hear my mother get up and answer the door. So, you know, I'm nosy. But I had enough sense not to go out there with grown folks that's talking. That's when they tell you a child ought to stay in a child's place, okay? And I peeked out the door. And what I saw was my school clothes that had tags on them because they were stolen. You see, these were the thieves. You know them, it's some kind of thing that they have on the clothes that are beat. That's why they got them. Because all the clothes that the people were stealing on our behalf, okay? Because my mother still, even though we were in poverty, she still wanted us to look like everybody else, okay? So I know on Thanksgiving, y'all go to the grocery store and buy y'all stuff. That ain't how it went down at my house. How it went down was the person went in the store with a flat stomach. And when they came out, they was 9 months ready to give birth because that was our turkey. See, I'm trying to keep it real. I'm doing something because I'm painting a picture. I want to paint a picture so you will know exactly. And I'm not going to hold anything back. So that's how we got our Thanksgiving meal. So one day I was reading this scripture, and it said Deuteronomy 8:18. And it reads, and you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he swore to your fathers as it is this day. Babe, bring me that water hose. So here I was like, stay up here with me for a second, baby, because I need you to help me do some unravel that. Thank you. So here I was like, you give me the power to get wealth? I'm looking at my checkbook. It's not saying any of that. But the word says, I give you the power to get wealth. I give you the power. Now, I might not, if I feel, I give you the power. So I said, God, help me out here. If you give me the power to get wealth and my checkbook is not lining up with it, then tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. He said just as clear as day, Shereen, every time you get paid, I give you the power to get wealth. You the one, you the one that choose to go out there and get a BMW and a light bulb costs $400. That's where your money going. So I got this water hose because I love green grass. When I tell you, I love me some green grass. Hold on this end, baby. Okay. So I said, God, help me, give me a visual. I'm a visual person. Show me what you're talking about. So you got a water hose, right? You hook this up, to the thing so you can start spraying the thing. start spraying the grass, right? This is the base where it's at, right? But right here, we got credit card bill, school loan bill, mortgage, rooms to stay, that furniture store, all kind, car note, you name it, we got it. So you're trying to water the grass. And I don't know if you know anything, but when you're trying to water the grass and you got these in there, what's going to happen? The water's not going to come. Why is the water not coming? Okay. So what me and my husband did was, for all of these knots, we had a bill. And as the knots begin to unravel, then what happens? The water comes out. Thank you so much. So that's what was happening. So in 2017, my husband and I, we were in a whole lot of debt because we're combining two households. And God told us and gave us some specific instructions, and we chose to write about it and be transparent in the book. To date, we've helped over 350 people to pay off over $2.5 million in debt. I'm talking about somebody that grew up across the street from the projects. I'm not telling you about something that I think I know. I'm telling you something that I walked through and that I didn't understand why I was walking through. And God was reminding me, I thought that I would never share about going to church and asking the pastor. And sometimes when I would ask him, he said, I don't know why your mother says she want to borrow money. You know she ain't never paid me back. But I had enough sense not to go back and tell my mom because I knew that we needed the money. And so I want to be as transparent as possible because I want to help you to understand. And so I'll give a few examples. The Bible tells us to write the vision and make it plain according to Habakkuk 2 and 2. Now, I don't know if you know this, but having a budget is spiritual. It's a biblical principle. I was wondering, I did 22 years in the military. Got paid on the 1st and the 15th. Nobody in my family had a problem until the 30th and the 14th. I'm just trying to help you to understand. And so I didn't like saying no. I just didn't like it. But let me tell you something that I learned. You've got to learn to quit the school. Okay, before I tell you this, tell me what college you like, your favorite team, your kids might have went to, your grandkids might have went to. Name me a couple schools, because I'm sure y'all got some colleges around here that somebody attended. Huh? HU, okay. What is it? Marshall University. What other school we got? West Virginia State University. Lincoln University. Anybody else? University of Kentucky. So tell me, what is the most attended university in the U.S.? Can you take a guess? We all went there and got multiple degrees from. It's called Excuse University. I had to quit this school. Because, see, when you make up in your mind you're going to quit Excuse University and you're going to go out on a limb and you're going to do something that God calls you to do, then everybody got a problem with you. I'm going to tell you why. As long as you were going to Excuse University, not paying no tuition, not buying no books, not paying for your housing or anything like that, didn't nobody have a problem with you. Because you was doing absolutely nothing, just like them. But the minute you say you're going to write something, you're going to write a book, you're going to write a chapter, you're going to be a part of this, you're going to do something with your life, they don't want to support you now and then, do they? Huh? Because you want to do something. You decide to leave the school of Excuse University. Quit it and do what God told you to do. But the minute you say, I'm going to do what God told me to do, they got the nerve to say they got a problem with it. As long as you were doing nothing, you was cool. We cool. We got it like that. But as soon as you say, I'm going to do something, now all of a sudden it's a problem. Let this marinate for a minute. The average American household is making over $50,000. If you've been working for 10 years, you already done made $500,000. If you've been working for 20 years, you already been a millionaire. So you don't need me to prophesy that you're going to be a millionaire because you've been there. But here's the question. If you already been a $500,000 or a millionaire, why you still got a car note? Why you still got these temporary credit cards that you said you was only going to use for emergency, and you know that was a lie? Why do you still got a car note? Now think about it. A mortgage payment. You've been working all these years, right? And you might have $200,000 or $300,000 tied up in a house. What happened to the other $700,000 that you already done made? Did you know that 70% of couples argue about money? And I'm going to tell you right now, if you marry and you don't want to walk in agreement with your husband on finances, you telling me you don't want to be a multimillionaire. Because I'm telling you, me and my husband had to walk in agreement. We still go to the thrift store right now, and we ain't paid a mortgage in 4 years. And we love the thrift store. People tried to tell me, Shereen, don't shop at the thrift store. I said, you go right ahead, because I'm going to the thrift store. I got a mentor. He's a multi-millionaire, got 646 houses. And he goes to the thrift store, and he mentors me. So what do? Oh, I'm going to the thrift store. I was there yesterday. I'm going to the thrift store. I'm going to stretch my money. You hear me? My husband said, baby, what you getting? Don't worry about it. I'm going to the thrift store. I got my money. I'm going to the thrift store because that was one of our tools of how we stretched our money. It just amazes me how, people have marriage conferences and they never want to talk about money. Let's talk about what people are arguing about. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Did you know that the percentage of people, over 90% of the people who have cell phones, 90% of them have cell phone insurance? But did you know that the percentage, that 52% of the people only have life insurance? I'm scratching my head. You mean to tell me you think more of your telephone than you do of your life insurance so that your family can grieve in peace? I'm going to need y'all to help me. I'm going to need you to help me. Help me to make this make sense. You see, I'm the auntie that you always wanted. Because I'm going to give it to you real, but I'm going to give it to you in love. But I'm still going to give it to you real. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. You know, when I began to teach classes in my local community, I can remember I bounced a check at the church I go to. And the enemy tried to beat me up about it. I let him talk in my head for a little while. And all of a sudden I said, shut up, devil, shut up. I acknowledge that I bounced a check. I acknowledge that I grew up in poverty. I acknowledge that majority of the clothes on my back growing up were stolen. I acknowledge when I broke bread on Thursday, that turkey came from, it was stolen goods. But this is how I grew up. And I didn't let that stop me. I began to teach. Now, mind you, this happened before I began to teach classes. And I stepped out on faith and I began to teach. I taught the first class. Somebody paid off a house. I taught the second class. They started paying off car notes. I taught the third class. Somebody else emailed me, hey, we just paid off our last payment. And I kept celebrating and celebrating and celebrating with them. Because I said, God, if you'll do it for them, I know my time is coming. And when it came, all of a sudden, we get a call from the Dave Ramsey show. And they said, can you come and do your debt-free screen? We said, yes. When do you want us there? They say, anytime within these 2-week time frame period. So we did that. When he would be on TV and he would ask, people if they wanted to talk to one of his coaches. I was one of his hand-picked coaches. That's where I got my training from. From there, I sold into his ministry for 2 years. And then from there, God began to tell me, it's your turn. It's your time. So I'm going to need you to write this book, and I'm going to need you to go wherever I tell you to go and teach and show my people. The Bible says, owe no man nothing but to love him. Why did he write that if he didn't mean it? God does not waste words. And so I just began to just answer, yes, yes, yes. When we get back to Georgia, I'll speak on Monday. And then a week after that, a group of people from D.C. have asked me to do a class for them online. But I'm telling you, the answer is yes. Almost a year ago, my husband came to me and said, it's time. I said, it's time for what? He said, it's time for you to put in a resignation. I was in corporate America. God had already been dealing with me, but I didn't say anything. I said, God, let it come through him. Because I want to be in obedience. I didn't want my husband to think, I had a problem with going to work every day because I didn't. I love to serve. So we put in the resignation and all that. And I'm telling you, we have not missed a personal credit card payment because we don't have one. We have not missed no car note, even though we have 4, because we don't owe anything. We have not missed any mortgages on our 2 homes because we don't have one. You see, what I've noticed about people is when I would go to work, the parking lot would look like a new car dealership. You got people, they get cramps in their stomach on Sunday because they got a job that they go to that they hate. But they got to go because all that debt they done ran up. And so what I'm trying to help the people with is, do you need all of that? You need a car, but do you need a Lexus? You see, here's my thing. Why pay Lexus $700 a month, but you don't have $700 a month to put in your account? You got a car you can't afford. And if you don't learn about finances and teach your kids about finances, you will always have grown kids in your pocket. Let me say it for the people in the back that's hard of hearing. If you don't learn about finances and teach your kids about finances, you will always have grown kids in your pocket. I'm just trying to help somebody because I got grown kids. And I done told them, get out my pocket. And so in 2016, how much did Americans pay in bounce checks? You got 4 guesses, 2 on this side and 2 on this side. And I'm going to tell you, the figure is between 5 billion with a B and 30 billion. So on this side, give me 2 guesses. On this side, give me 2 guesses. Let's go. 22, that's 1. It's between 30. It's between 5 and 30 billion. So she said 22. What's your figure? 18. Okay, on this side. So y'all remember that 22 and 18, okay? Go ahead. One person, huh? 28, 25. You said what now? Okay, come and get this gift card. It's 16 billion with the B. If this was so easy, why did the banks make 16 billion with a B on bounce check fees? See, you think the banks like you. No, they don't like you. They love you. Huh? They love to see you coming, hoping that it bounce. I'm just trying to paint a picture. I'm just trying to paint a picture here. And so, what is the percentage of people who have a written budget? Two on this side, two on this side. Now, let me paint the picture now. It's between 1% and 50%. What percentage of people actually have a written budget? It's between 1% and 50%. Let's start on this side since we got 2 answers on this side and 2 answers. Yes, ma'am. 5%. 1%. So you got 5, you got 1. Y'all put me in a sticky situation. Okay. Go ahead. 3%. Oh my God, come get this gift card. It's 3%. Are you hearing me? So my thing is, if only 3% of Americans are putting in budgets, we need a budget. No wonder we don't know what we got. Because I'm going to tell you, when I used to get paid in the military, I would get paid, I would run to the mall, buy as much as I could, and pray the Bills didn't play basketball. We need a budget. It's a biblical principle. We need a budget. So, I got to set this question up. How long did it take my husband and I to pay off our home? Now, I got to set it up, meaning I had already been paying on the mortgage on the house I was living in for 7 years. But when we obeyed what God told us to do, how long did it take? It is between 18 months and 5 years. Let's go on this side. Here, and then two on here and 2 on here. Yes, ma'am. 4 years. Another answer from this side of the house. 2 years. 3 years. Huh? But that wasn't, it was between 18 months. Yeah. A year and a half. Okay. Hold on. That's 18 months. What did you say over here? You said 24 months? And you said 18 months. You can't win twice. So 22 months. 22 months. So my thing is this. Remember I showed you the holes with all the knots in it, right? When we got all those holes out of the thing, mind you now, I've been paying on the mortgage for 7 years. But all those other bills, that we had or what have you, got out. God told us in prayer to pay something on a mortgage every week because we were both in corporate America and we were getting paid opposite weeks. So there was a check coming every week, right? And in prayer, he told us, pay something. It ain't got to be a full thing, but just pay on the principle. Y'all, I don't mean no harm, but I'm one of those, you tell me something, God, I'm crazy like that. I'm just going to believe you. Now, mind you, I done went to training. I didn't get this in training. I got this from the throne room. Huh? And when I got to Dave Ramsey, guess what he asked me? Where'd you get that from? I said, I got it from the throne room. This is what God told us to do, and we stepped out on faith. So you all, I just wanted to let you know that, what God is doing. And you got to get a budget. There is no other way around it because you got to put your money on an assignment. When we began to put our money on assignment and we sit down, I have an electronic budget that I give all my students. And I tell them, y'all got to use this to one day, me and my husband was teaching class, and he said, they beefing over there. I said, mind your business. And I kept on teaching. I seen them. They was beefing while I'm teaching class up there. You know how you be silently, you know, I know you beefing. Come on. And I told my husband, mind your business. The husband would come up to me. You need to give my wife scissors to cut off all them credit cards. And the wife would say, my husband said you want me to cut up all my credit cards. I would just say to both of them, keep coming to class. Because I saw what they were trying. He was trying to get me on his side. She was trying to get me on her. I don't fall for that okie doke. I know what's happening. And so I just told them to keep coming to class. But do you know, one person in my class had 22 credit cards. And do you know, her and her husband became debt-free before me and my husband. I celebrated with them. I celebrated with them. Because I was concerned. I was like, 22, oh God. I asked my husband, I said, can I do some house calls? Can I do some extra time on the phone with them? And my husband released me to do that. Then we get to the next class. Somebody had 33 credit cards in retirement, spending like they wasn't retired. But let me tell you today, she don't got none of them credit cards. They cut up, they paid off. And she's not going back to bondage and doing well. Because why? When you get information that's going to set you free. And so I want to tell you, I'm not up here saying just this just to be saying it. I got a deed. I brought our deed so you can see it in black and white. Honey, my students were like, we want to see the deed. I said, come and see it. They said, we ain't never seen no deed before. I said, me neither until now. Because ain't nobody in my family got a paid off house, okay? I told you where I came from. I'm trying to paint the picture. But see, today, we have that deed in the back. We have it framed because it's precious and it means so much to us that we are totally walking in freedom. We walk in freedom. I want you to close your eyes for one moment. And I want you to imagine what would it be like if you didn't have credit card bills on the first? What would it be like if you didn't have a car loan? What would it be like if you no longer had a mortgage? Now open up your eyes. Because I know what that feels like. It feels light. It feels free. It feels liberating. And it is not enough that me and my husband are debt free. We are like the Joshua and the Caleb. We already done spied out the land. Trust me, there's plenty of room over here. And so we came back to get others with us to say, let's go ahead and go to the land of debt freedom. As I get ready to close, y'all know how when you get arrested, how they read your Miranda rights? You have a right to remain silent, and everything you say can and will be held against you. Well, today I want to read you your debt rights. You have the right to stay in debt. All bills you charge and purchases you make will be held against you. You have a right to continue to pay bills late because money is being made off of you. You have a right to continue to mismanage your money because in 2016, the banks made billions off your lack of money management. You have a right to not save for your kids' college funds and borrow money from the banks to send your kids to college as though it was a surprise. You have a right to not get an insurance policy on your loved ones because you think they will never die. You have a right to continue to stay financially asleep while money is being made off you. I have read to you your rights to stay in debt. And my question to each one of you is, how do you plead? This concludes my presentation.